Welcome to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. I'm Diana.
And I'm Liz.
And we're going to talk about season 12, episode 15, Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell.
Which is the title of a Social Distortion album, which according to the Supernatural Wiki is the reason for the name of this episode. And I don't know if I believe that. I will say, however, that Social Distortion is going on tour with the Descendants.
Well, what have you been up to? Anything fun?
My mom's cat finally came into the living room by herself today, so that was very exciting. So for the longest time, these poor, and I'm going to say something that's going to sound really bad, but I've had these two cats that were kept to a part. Basically, they had a wing of a house. And they had a wing of a house because there were dogs on the other side of the house. And the owners of said dogs were supposed to help me transition the relationship so the cats could leave that wing. They never did, but the dogs are gone. And now the cats don't want to leave the wing because the rest of the house, I think, smells like dog or something of that sort. So I've been slowly giving exposure therapy to the cats, meaning I'm against their will picking them up and carrying them to the other parts of the house. And one of them, the girl cat, she got brave and she walked out into the living room by herself today. So it was a big step for her. I'm like, wait till you figure out there's an upstairs.
To be clear, the dogs safely were rehomed to where they needed to go.
Their dogs are still with their humans. They're with their humans.
And the cats were sequestered, and they just are scared of leaving their sequestration.
Yes, yeah. They had a giant space where but they're too cozy, and I would just be feeling that they're territorial. And to get to the other side of the house, they have to go down a long, dark hallway. I think the hallway also is kind of
intimidating.
So, but we've been doing little walks down the hall. Sometimes I get her to walk down the hallway with me, just so that's how I've been spending my time, is trying to get cats to
cat training.
I've been cat training. We all have to have our callings.
Yeah, that's important.
And what about you?
I've been spending my time redoing our sunroom, so I decided to repaint and put up some new wallpaper because that's what I decided to do with my time instead of getting it done. But yeah, it's been a fun project. It's not. I'm excited about the results. Let me put it that way.
It's done, and like I said earlier, you are not divorced.
Yeah, exactly.
So you chose to do. Not only did you choose to do a home renovation project, you chose to do one with your husband, which is a bold. That's a bold move, Cotton. To always, you don't know how that's.
Yeah.
And no matter how, I think it's a sign of like how strong your relationship is like how well can you guys handle putting up wallpaper together without putting the other one in the wall.
There was a lot of, and by both sides admitted, very, very passive aggressive commentary during the hanging of the wallpaper back and forth. Very calmly, though. We did it very calmly. But yes, it is successful. Getting ready for spring break. Not really, but a small family trip.
It's like, we're adults. We don't get spring breaks anymore.
We don't.
Unless you're a teacher or working somewhere in education, which half of your family is. So, I mean,
true. Yeah. But yeah, so there we go. That's my excitement.
So, very fun. Yeah. Cool. Oh my God. I forgot to, I had a dream about Jared Padalecki. But I don't think I think I was just dreaming about his magnificent hair. And because it is brought up in this episode, but I have not been checking out what's going on in their world at all. Let's see.
Well, the biggest thing is I think they dropped the new trailer for The Boys, and everybody's psyched about that because it does have Jared, Jensen, and Misha in it, and that's what everybody's been super happy.
Well, I did get messages from one of my friends going like, "Did you know that Jared Padalecki is in The Boys?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Of course I knew. Like, who are you talking to?" San Antonio was very proud of Jared Padalecki, so like the local paper, which is like the big paper for San Antonio, is like, San Antonio's Jared Padalecki joins The Boys with Supernatural co-stars. So I'm really glad that is coming out because I need it. I want it. It's time. I need more content that's not Countdown. Well, that's good. I'm glad that's finally happening for them. So this episode, like we said, somewhere between heaven and hell. I don't know if that's why they named it that or someone just put that on the wiki and they got away with it. And this was episode number 15 of season 12, and it first aired March 9th, 2017. So, like, it almost tomorrow, because we're recording this.
Recording schedule.
Yeah, we're recording this on March 8th. So it's, yeah, almost aligning with us. It's pretty cool. I like when that happens. And this was directed by Nina Lopez Corrado. And we last saw her direct this season's The One You've Been Waiting For. And she did season 11's episode 17, Red Meat. And it was written by Davey Perez. And he wrote, oh, God damn it. I don't want to say it because it's going to get stuck in my, okay. So both of these are going to get stuck in my head. Maybe it is. All right, I am going to agree that this is because of social distortion based on the last two episodes that he directed, that he wrote. So episode 4 that he wrote this season was American Nightmare, and episode 12 was Stuck in the Middle with You. Okay, so I will say you did not just someone didn't just get away with putting that on the wiki. I think that actually is the truth. Okay.
Reasonable.
Makes sense to me. And now I have all those things stuck in my head. All right. So in our recap camp, I said that because all the vamps are dead. Yeah. And we get BMOL, pick a side, a reminder about hellhounds, and that I was going to wear my hellhound shirt today. God damn it. I thought about it when I was doing the episode. It's in my closet. I meant to pull it out, but all right. We get reminded about hellhounds. Hellhounds are pets of Crowley. We get reminded of Crowley's bad plan. The spawn of Lucifer exists. There's somebody named Dagon that we're going to meet more of. There's the cult, and that Sam is in with the bad guys. And that's our recap. And we go to the woods.
Yeah, in Sheridan County, Nebraska. And there's a couple camping, and she's cutting wood, and her boyfriend, so this is Gwen, and her boyfriend Marcus wants her to watch a video of a bear attacking people camping. I'm like, this is not what you watch when you're camping, sir. And she calls out,
it is not. And also, like, what kind of signal are you getting? Where are you camping that you get that enough? Did you download the bear video, or are you actually just not camping so far away that you can just get a regular cell signal? Yeah. I call you out, Marcus.
Well, apparently he had this one, and he really wants her to watch the video, and she's like, no, we're supposed to commune with nature. And he's like, I thought we were going to commune with nature and get naked and do weird stuff. And she's like, well, not that weird. But yeah, apparently we find out their backstory is they're a couple, and she has been accepted to school in a veterinary school in Washington. So they're going to try to do the long distance thing. And they both seem kind of sad about it. So he goes to look for more firewood. And while he's doing it, he is practicing his proposal, because he's going to propose to her in the woods, and she accidentally finds the ring box while he's gone, which is very sad and sweet. And then something is stalking him that's invisible, and it's real scary. And then all of a sudden we see him running back to the campsite, yelling for her to run. And it is shot. This is such a cool scene. I hate to say that about like someone like dying, but it's a really cool scene with the hellhound attacking him and killing him, being invisible. And then the paw prints in the mud. It's so cool.
It is, except for the fact that that little bitch Gwen hits my puppy with an axe. And
she's trying to eat her.
It's just a puppy. She's trying to play. If you look at where she, like, if you look at her, like, where she is, she just has her paws on either side of Gwen. She's not actually, like, attacking her. She's just, like, kind of hugging her. And then Gwen hits it with an axe. So I think this is on Gwen. And I swear when they do the title card that you can hear a little bit of a puppy whine. Like, I rewound it and listened to it a couple of times, and I may be making it up, but I think it was kind of like a at the end of it.
Well, either way, Marcus is dead, but Gwen gets away. That's our summary from the hellhound attack. And so we cut to the bunker with Sam and Dean. And Dean is covered in blood and goo and is carrying a very specific weapon.
He is. And he is saying he loves this thing. And what he's holding is a barbed wire wrapped baseball bat that looks just like the weapon that John Winchester carries in The Walking Dead when he plays Negan.
Yes.
So, and it's a nice little crossover, and I can neither confirm nor deny that any of my friends have ever owned or used such a thing. Okay, so Dean so he gets covered in gore. I guess maybe
he's a piece of siren in his hair.
Yeah.
Ew.
Ew.
But Sam doesn't
And no,
want to sit on the
what's more
furniture.
ew is that he flings it on the floor.
Yeah.
Like Sam, he picks it out of his hair, which could be satisfying, and then he
And then
flings it on the
throws it.
floor.
Yeah. And Sam's like, you need to bathe and change your underwear. And
He
he's
is.
very specific about how many days Dean has been in the same boxers.
This is how you get scabies. He's been wearing the same. Okay. So Sam says he's been wearing the same pair of boxers for 4 days, and Dean says, "Well, you can do the 2-2 rule because you can flip them inside out and you get an extra day on it." And that's not how that work. I hate fucking boys. All right.
Yes.
Sam's phone dings and he's like, it's another case. And Dean's like, oh, we got another one. And Sam makes up this. Well, we know that he's making up that he's basically made an algo that is scraping the news sites for weird things, which really honestly doesn't sound that hard to do. Like, you're just basically doing a learn on a search and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can actually see that's happening. Why are you just thinking of this now?
I bet with AI, if they were doing this now too with AI, they could probably really do it well.
Do chat GPT. How do I... So Charlie should have thought of this a long time ago. But anyhow, so Dean's brain bleeds because of computer.
But he's like, monsters, porn, anything they can't do. Oh, Dean. But either way, we've got Sam convinces Dean to go bathe before they go anywhere else. But Dean is going to use Sam's fancy shampoo.
Which is how Sam's hair is so glorious. So we're going to go to outside Sheridan County, and they both pull up. They pull up, and they're both on phones.
Sam's getting off the phone with Mom. Apparently, she's been hunting with the British men of letters, and it was a haunting. And this gives Dean the opportunity to call them the douchebusters. I think that was funny. I like it.
It was a good line.
I like it. And apparently, Dean gets off the phone with Cass, who is in Idaho, and there's someone killing angels again.
So in Idaho, which called me, Cass is in a diner and he meets a manager who reads his upside down Fed badge as Agent Solange.
And yeah, he is reading an article about someone being murdered by an irate alien. But anyways, so the manager, Herb, is very excited that the FBI is there. He is excited to tell his story and takes Castiel to his conspiracy bunker and locks the door. And I was like, oh, no, sir. If you took me in there and locked the door, I would panic.
Yeah, no locking the door, please. No, thank you. The door remains open. Maybe propped with a shoe.
Yes. But he's got all kinds of stuff on the wall about the faked moon landing, the Illuminati mind control, and all kinds of other fun stuff. Yay. So, and he is convinced that Sarah, his waitress that we saw before, she was the real bitchy waitress with Kelly, that she was killed by aliens, and he can prove it. They were not just aliens, though. They were reptilians.
Yes, like the Queen of England. And he can prove it. And we're going to talk about reptilians. And it is lore, and that's what we're doing today for lore. We're talking about reptilian conspiracy theories and lizard people. It is a road we're going down. So, according to Wikipedia, which is now more reliable than Google, reptilians are supposed reptilian humanoids, and the idea of their existence was popularized by the conspiracy theorist David Icke, who has claimed that the reptilians are aliens with the ultimate goal of human enslavement. Although David Icke brought widespread attention to the notion of reptilian humanoids, the concept itself really predates his existence. And one of the earliest examples comes from friend of the pod, the Russian chain-smoking mystic, Madame Helena Blavatsky, who in The Secret Doctrine in 1888 referenced dragon men who'd once had a civilization on the now disappeared Lemurian continent, which is basically Atlantis. Okay. So that was during the Industrial Age, so that is possibly one of the first references to the dragon. The first appearance of serpent men in pop culture is attributed to Robert E. Howard's The Shadow Kingdom, which was published in the magazine Weird Tales in 1929. And a lot of people have made connections between Howard and Blavatsky's dragon men. And turning back to David Icke, because we have to, unfortunately, the once footballer turned semi-cult leader first shared his reptilian theories on BBC in 1991. His audience can run the spectrum across political lines. A 2000 article by Tyson Lewis and Richard Kahn noted how both ultra right wing conservatives can be seated next to like a 60 something UFO buff or a New Age Earth goddess at one of his talks, right? And he's filled up like Wembley Stadium and shit. And he'll talk for like 11 hours on this subject. And he is just like, he is prolific as fuck. He has written over 20 books since the 1990s. And is a lot of books, but his writing has also been called an homage, or I would say homage being you maybe stealing. I don't know, but we'll say homage to the writer slash quote unquote cuneiform translator Zechariah Sitchin, who claimed a race of extraterrestrials from the planet Nibiru created the ancient Sumerian culture. But both Sishkin and Ike claim that humans are actually the result of a genetic experiment run by the aliens known as the Anukai. Damn it, I watched some stupid show, like I had to like watch how they pronounce that word, and I'm probably saying the aliens wrong, and lizard people are going to punish me for it. That's how you know I'm not a lizard person. I don't know how to pronounce our lizard
That's fair.
species. So according to Ike, the Anukai from planet Nibiru or planet X came to Earth looking for gold. When they found it, they crossed their DNA with humans to create workers to mine the gold for them. Then they stayed, shapeshifting to hide their identities, but secretly still running the world, feeding off of human energy, particularly that of children. Also, the moon is an artificial construct. It's a hollowed out space station from which the Illuminati are creating a matrix like dystopian society for us to live in. So we are currently our reality is being projected from the moon, and we are in, none of this is real. This is all the matrix. So I think once you start like doing like Neo shit, then you get out of the matrix. I think that's one of the things. But
there a pill somewhere that you take in that?
I think it's like a red pill or something. So for proof that this is real, you have to look at the fact that we have lizard brains, right? And in the most primitive area of the human brain, we have the brainstem and the cerebellum, and they are very similar to a reptile's brain in that it controls the body's function like heart rate, breathing, body temperature, and balance. It's also home to our fight or flight instincts and our desires to eat and have sex. But of course, that isn't all that makes up a human brain. We also have a mammalian brain, which is the limbic system, the neocortex, which we share with primates. So, anyways, we do have reptile brains. And David Icke will use this to show how the world is manipulated. So he quotes a Zulu shaman who said to him, "To know the Illuminati, Mr. David, you must study the reptile. It is important for people to know the basics about the reptilian brain because it reveals where the character and attitudes in Illuminati come from and how or why we are manipulated mentally and emotionally in the way that we are through television and other imagery." So Ike really believes in mind control, and he also believes that the internet and anything made past 1996 is being controlled by the aliens, right? So it can't be trusted. So you can only use analog devices. So what world leaders are reptiles? All of them.
Duh.
Ike has named George Washington, George W. Bush, and Queen Elizabeth II as examples. Okay. He has claimed that these ruling lizards created a society known as the Illuminati who are running the world with all their mind control. Okay, so what about celebrities? All of them too. In fact, during the 2017 Justin Bieber tour, hundreds of fans saw him shapeshift on stage in Australia. Bieber's head shrunk, his eyes went black with stripes down the center, which could be his very reptilian irises. He grew taller and had rose-colored scales on his body, according to an article you can't find anymore that was once in the newspaper tabloid Perth Now. So they say that the celebrities like Bieber are sending coded messages to the masses through their performances. And here's where I start to ruin the fun of thinking everyone is a lizard. As with most theories which involve othering of people, this conspiracy theory at least appears to partially be rooted in bigotry, more specifically anti-Semitism, as serpents have been used as dehumanizing anti-Semitic imagery for the Jewish population throughout history. So we have that kind of big hanging on to it. Ike has also argued that fabricated doctrine saying that a Jewish cabal runs the world is the truth. He's also supported the idea that the Holocaust was a hoax. So, yeah. Yeah. So whether or not the whole reptilian invader idea is meant to be coded anti-Semitism, it definitely gets tossed around by a lot of neo-Nazis, Illuminati believers, and others who are convinced that evil puppeteers, who they often claim are Jewish, are secretly running the world and controlling everybody.
Gross.
And then on top of that, there have been a number of tragedies associated with this reptilian conspiracy theory.
For the record, you just made a really fun conspiracy theory really gross and sad.
Oh, I'm gonna make it worse. I'm gonna make it so much worse. All right.
Okay,
So
here
in
we go.
2012, a follower of the Prophet of Doom, Sherry Schreiner, who spread the reptile gospel over the internet, died via a sleeping pill overdose while wearing an Oregon pendant, which was supposed to help protect her from synthetic robotoids. Basically, she had on this pendant that Sherry Schreiner was selling, saying you could protect you from overdosing, and she still overdosed. And then after she died, she continued to sell them. Then in 2017, another one of that woman's followers, a woman named Barbara Rogers, shot her boyfriend Steve Mineo, who was also a follower, in the head, and she claimed that she wanted her to. In 2019, a 26-year-old self-proclaimed Proud Boy and QAnon believer, Bucky Wolf, murdered his brother with a 4-foot-long sword, saying he was a lizard person. He also claimed the investigators at the scene were turning into lizards. Isaiah Gentry stabbed his father 20 times in 2020 because he believed he was a shapeshifter. The 2020 Nashville bomber Anthony Warner believed that alien reptiles inhabited underground tunnels that ran the world, and these aliens shapeshifted into humans. Then in 2021, California surfing school owner Matthew Collin murdered his 2 toddlers with a spearfishing gun because he thought his wife passed down lizard DNA to them.
That's all terrible.
It is all really terrible. And to end on a somewhat less terrible note, in 2013, mind you, this is pre QAnon, 4% of registered voters believe the reptile lizard conspiracy was true. And that's registered voters who help shape our country believe that. Well, I mean, but also, like, would they then vote for the lizard or against the
Yeah.
lizard?
If they're registered voter, I mean, but they're all. But if everybody in power, if all politicians are lizards, how do you vote for the non-lizard?
Well, I mean, at the primary, which one are you choosing, right? Like, which one's going to be better for humanity? Is it going to be the mind control, or is like, well, do you just like cave in? Do you want to be on the lizard side?
Yeah, that's tough. I don't
It's
know.
a tough question.
You have to be very strategic and philosophical in that decision.
Yeah, I also kind of knew, like, once like David Icke came into the picture, I knew this was going to be a bummer because he is a bigoted anti-Semite. He's not a good man, but he's very charismatic and just he's besides being prolific, like he has tons of websites. And like I said, he speaks for like 11 hours at a time, like, and then people listen to him for that long.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anybody talk for that long.
I don't want to hear any. There is nothing I want to sit through. I don't want to sit through. I don't want to sit through Netflix for that long. I don't want to, like. There's nothing I want to do for 11 hours besides maybe some days sleep really hard.
I get mad if a band plays too long, like, and that's, and my time limit for that's very short. Like, much less, and that's a band I like.
Yeah. Ugh. So if I don't know if I could spend but hey, so I knew, like I said, I kind of, conspiracy theories are always going to be a bummer, and I didn't dive into. There's obviously this. We could go a lot further in this. There is like I said, there is that correlation, or I mean, a lot of, I guess, almost like let's say Venn diagrams at a correlation. Venn diagram between people who believe in reptile lizard conspiracies and QAnon believers. So there is a lot of that crossover. And then while I was researching this, of course, a lot of things were coming up about the idea that a lot of these reptile lizard people believers and the QAnon believers are also that, it was all pedophile conspiracy. So we have the actual pedophile conspiracies that is going on with all the Epstein stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff kind of going on with this in the media, but I kind of want to go a little further back just to see like when this all first started. And it really does, like, as much as we've got it in pop culture and we've had the, and David Icke, beyond that other person who ripped off their stuff and other things, all of them just sound like they're ripping off V. But so
yeah, exactly. I know we were talking about that. We talked about that right before that we started recording. It was just a lot of it just comes back to like, for pop culture, V was a series that really, Both
And
the 80s and the 2000 or the teenage version. Yeah.
which is both, which is the 80s one is horrifying and has scarred me for life, I'm pretty sure, because it was so good. It was really good. It was,
I watched the new
I
one.
should not have watched it as a child.
Fair.
Like, because it's a lizard tongue that just like freaks me out. And maybe that's also why I don't like authoritarian states. Perhaps I don't know, maybe that's where it started. But it's so like the pop culture history of shape, because we, like I said, there is the anti-Semitic line of what of the serpent representation, but serpents and snakes and lizards also just represent a lot of things with a long human past, and for many different religions too, right?
Yeah.
And so the idea of shape shifting into a lizard is not something that's lost on. It's in a lot of cultures.
Yes.
It's not necessarily they are a secret cabal ruling the world. I think it makes it more specific, right? And that they're aliens. I think once you start going into like, that's a whole different, we've got a whole different narrative than just worshiping like a snake like deity crossover. This is now, we have got aliens who came down to take over the world and they're controlling our minds. And if they are, can you do something like, do something else, man? Y'all can change for frequencies. Like, I would like a better simulation, or at least some more color.
Filing a formal request.
Get like some more ponies or something, like a little more fluffiness in the simulation.
Yeah, serious.
We'll mine your energy for you. Just give me something a little better to work with here, right? All right. So that is the background on the reptilian lizard conspiracy. I guess that's what you call it. There's really there isn't a short name for it.
Reptilian alien conspiracy.
Yeah. If Wikipedia calls it I think just call it the reptilian conspiracy theory, but
reptilian conspiracy theory.
Yeah, they're the Anukai, or whatever the fuck you say, their weird ass name.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So leaving from those aliens and lizards to Cass. And the guy who is so woke, he's got the stuff the sheeple can't handle.
Yeah. But he also has a video surveillance system, not digital, of what happened in the alley. And so we see Kelly, pregnant Kelly, stumble down this alley, being followed by a male angel that we know is an angel, that they don't know that. And
so I love his interpretation though. Kelly is an alien queen.
Right. That's why she's pregnant. Duh.
Yeah, and the two angels and their silver knives are star metal. And so Dagon comes out, and she comes out to fight the angel, and he zooms in and we can see her yellow eyes, and that means that she is reptilian.
Correct. But Cass is like, okay, cool, got what I need, thanks, bye.
And honestly, this is what the feds will do if you call them. Like, or at least they used to do that for like hacking shit. Like, if you call them, been like someone like broke into here, they would just come in and take your stuff and leave.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure like
it's accurate. So it's accurate.
I feel like this is accurate, that the feds would just be like, thanks, bye.
So we cut from there to the woods, where the sheriff is telling Sam and Dean that, like, look, there's no body. It looks, we're sure it's a bear, maybe a cougar that just dragged him off. It's whatever. But Gwen, the survivor, is very shaken up and saying strange things. She thinks that she was attacked by an invisible wolf and that it's coming after her. So Dean
as much as
I
dislike the sheriff, I really like his fuzzy hat. I kind of want it.
So they go and find Gwen's house to go visit her, and she is laying down, and there is clearly, from we see as the viewer, the hellhound is watching her through her window.
Aww. And as I haven't said already, I do love hellhounds and I want one for my own. And this hellhound is just watching her through the window, just trying to see what's going on. And then the boys are outside arguing about what to say to Gwen. And seriously, y'all have given this speech 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You know how this worked out?
But now they're saying they want to lie. They don't want to give her the real talk. They want to lie to give her.
They've lied 1,000 times.
Well,
how many times have they faked being feds going to someone's door? This is season 12. True. You know what to say, sir. You should be good at this.
Well, but they come to the conclusion that there's no way that this wolf's coming after her. So because that wouldn't make sense. So obviously the boyfriend made a deal with the demon, and now it's just now they're confused. The wolf got confused, and that's it. Or hound got confused, and that's it. So they're trying to go in, and the hellhound sneaks in with them when she lets them in.
What a smart little puppy.
And
And they introduce themselves as Baker and Clapton.
yeah.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
Not as good as Solange. And
No.
so they tell her they found it and that it was a bear, and they put it down. And then we go right into a very good, I know what I saw. I know what I saw.
Pissed. She is pissed. She knows what she saw, and they need to get out. But so she finally gets them to leave, and the hellhound is stalking her through the house. And finally, she realizes it's there, so she starts running, and it attacks her. We get a really good like cut of the claws ding into the floors.
Again, they're not on her, they're just in the floor. They are on either side of, it's very expensive damage that she's doing to those floors. But she could have put her claws in her. She's not. I think she's just playing. Right. And so then the guys jump in and they shoot the poor dog. I'm so glad this is invisible because I don't want to watch dogs getting shot. That's and right. Even if they're fake dogs, like, I don't no, thank you. And it jumps out through the window.
Mm-hmm. So from there, we cut to Crowley, and he is showing off his key and talking. He just monologue shit talking to Lucifer, and I just feel like this is not good. We've already discussed that this plan is not great, but he is just really enjoying just like rubbing it in. And Lucifer is like, yeah, when I get free, I'm going to peel off your skin and eat your soul.
Nom. And they're to go back and forth, and they're going to do the little dance. I cross you, you cross me, you make me your dog, I make you your slave. But then
Lucifer says, I'm 10 steps ahead. That's his big thing. I'm 10 steps ahead of you.
Crowley says that.
Yes, Crowley is. I'm sorry. Crowley is 10 steps ahead of Lucifer. That's what he says. Yeah. I'm sorry. But the demon minions need Crowley. There is work to be done, so he needs to go up and do his kingly things.
So he's going to put Lucifer in, basically it was like it's a bridle or a muzzle. Later we'll see it's like a horse. It's a horse's bridle, which I really hate. And so the minions tell him that not only is he late, there are 410 crossroad deals that need his approval, and there are 638 other items that need his immediate response.
What?
It seems like a lot of stuff to deal with.
It seems like a lot. Like, think about like if that was like your inbox. Ugh. That'd be upsetting.
Okay. It would be.
So Sam is explaining to Gwen about hellhounds, and that it was a hellhound. And Dean's like, yes, it's a giant invisible hound from hell. She's like, you're not cops. They're like, no, we're not cops. But either way.
Well, yeah, now Sam finally is like, okay, I have a line now. I have this down. I've said this before. I'm Sam. That's my brother Dean. We hunt monsters.
Yes. And Dean's like, oh, well, Goofer Dust can keep him out, and a demon knife for an angel blade to kill them. She's like, look, I know what I saw. And Sam's like, look, this is kind of awkward, but they really only attack people that sold their souls. So did you or Marcus maybe do that like 10 years ago?
Did you want a Hello Kitty backpack or death of an enemy? Come on now, girl. You got to fess up.
And she's like, no. So they're like, okay, well, we know who to call.
So at Crowley's, we're going to get an SPN word problem. So Awar, a rank 3 demon, claims to have had 6 babies, but then Morax, a rank 2 demon, then took his babies, which would then leave Awar with how many babies? 4 babies. And that's not enough babies for a decent meal. I also just enjoy like the idea of like demon school and like them having to do that in their SATs. Like, how many babies does Morax have left?
Well,
solve for Morax.
Crowley's phone rings and it says, not Moose. So Dean has called Crowley and calls him Peaches. He calls Crowley Peaches. But basically, Crowley's pissed because they sent his son back in time to die. And they're like, look, that was his idea, but also we need your help with some hellhounds. And so Crowley's like, asks his minions, he's like, wait, what happened with the hellhounds? And he's like, oh, one got out. He's like, okay, well, kill the person.
And they say Ramsey. Ramsey has got out.
Yeah. And Crowley's like, yeah, you need to kill the guard. And then he poofs and he appears in Gwen's house.
Yeah, and while he's talking on the phone though, and it's like talking about having the kennel guards killed painfully, Dean is just making a blah 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 sign with his hands. And I'm like, you guys are just like okay with Crowley just being like, I'm just gonna kill all those people, and you're just like blah blah blah. That's how far we've come, Mr. Winchester. Okay, so we go to Sherman's diner where Cass goes in the alley and meets a very attractive angel.
Yes, his name is Kelvin.
And you also
He's in
appreciate that
several
his name
shows I
is
watch, so
Kelvin.
we'll get
Yeah.
there. But yeah, and he wants to team up to find Kelly. So
Yeah, and her unholy bun.
but back in Gwen's house, Crowley's like, look, it's not just any hellhound. This is the hellhound, the first hellhound. When after at creation, God wanted to make the creator's best friend, and then it was a little too aggressive, so he was going to put it down. But Lucifer rescued Ramsey.
What the fuck, God? Like, you can't train a dog? Like, you're God. Like, you made something. Okay. It was just like, this just seems like bad dog ownership to me. Like, you just need to, like, it's not the dog's fault that she's aggressive, sir. I think it's a way that, what were you training her to do? By God's best friend? Were you by, I don't know, like, were you trying to fight her or something? What was God's best friend? I don't trust you, God. Anyways, so he was going to put down his puppy. And Lucifer is the one who rescued them. Lucifer.
And now Ramsey is loyal only to Lucifer. And Gwen's taking this all in. And
she can be controlled by Lucifer. She can be controlled, right? Yeah. So that means she has hope. She's not a lost cause, not just a dog to be shot in the air for no reason, right? But we don't have to worry about Lucifer because Lucifer's locked in a cage.
Sure. And they're like, well, then why is Ramsey after Gwen? And then she's like, well, I hit it with an axe. And Crowley says, bitch does tend to hold a grudge.
And then he wants to mount her head on a wall.
Yeah, because it'd be good for his brand.
Oh, boo. Don't like that. So then Dean says, just when I think this gig can't get any weirder. And Crowley replies with, it can always get weirder, which is the title of my next sex tape.
There we go. So in the meantime, while Crowley is up hanging out with Sam and Dean and Gwen, our demon minions have located Lucifer. And one of them, Thomas, kneels and is like groveling. And the other one's like, I knew all along. And they're talking about how Crowley is very prancy and that they released the hellhound as a distraction because they have stolen the key and they pickpocketed Crowley and they are going to free Lucifer after he hears their demands.
Which apparently there is going to be many. But first, we're going to go to Woods and get some thorough digging around inside of Trunk.
We do. It's a very thorough trunk.
Very thorough because, once again, she is a mess and you don't have an organized spot to put your hellhound glasses. But Sam knows how to drive. And Crowley and Dean are going to walk down the trail to stick a hollow. And Ramsey's already following them.
Yeah, this happens very quickly. So back at the diner, or they're at like a diner, Cass is asking Kelvin how things are in heaven. And he's basically saying like, look, this fucking Kelly and Lucifer's baby thing has brought all of the warring factions together. Everybody is on the same team because this shit's bad. This is bad. And so it's an all hands on deck situation. And he's been tasked to basically convince Castiel to help because he has the most field experience. Even though he's worked with the Winchesters, it's even better to have heaven on his side waiting in the wings, which I really like that reference. Wings,
heaven, I didn't get that one.
Anyways, but I do like Kelvin also has a great comment. I mean, I love Earth, it's quirky and it smells like hay, but it's not home.
Yeah, and Cass is just like, look, I'm not welcome in heaven. And Kelvin is just dangling this, well, what if you could come back, carrot?
Yes.
And they're just like, look, if you help us track down this Kelly Klein situation, they will welcome him back. But it's not him. Like, he's just a messenger. And there's someone else who is going to help. And that's Joshua. Yeah. So we all like Joshua the gardener. At least so far, we've liked Joshua the gardener. And Joshua is back in the picture and has a plan.
Yes. And it would be a chance for Cass to be back part of the family again for the greater good, which always gets Cass in trouble.
Yeah, it's like, but he always can't help it. He loves the greater good.
He does love the greater good.
Yeah, back at the asylum, one of the minions wants 1,000 souls and to be crowned the new king of the crossroads, which does sound like a musical.
It does. King of the Crossroads. But Tommy just wants to make hell great again. Mm-hmm.
This was 2017.
It was. So Victor, the first demon, is like, I'm gonna unlock you. And so Lucifer gets unlocked and he takes a big stretch. And then he grabs Victor and he poofs him out. Snaps his fingers and gone. And then he's going to do the same to Tommy, but Tommy's like really excited about getting off by Lucifer and gets called out for making it weird.
He does. He makes it really weird, and Lucifer kills him too. And
I like all the weird references. This is like the third time people have referenced getting weird. Because
it is. It's a weird episode.
I also appreciate they acknowledge that. So Crowley is making fun of Dean and his hellhound glasses.
He just looks so Clark Kent in them. I guess it works on him. And Crowley's just giving him shit. And Dean calls him soft for saving the girl of the week. But then he thanks him for saving Cass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, whatever. You think I'm getting soft? That I changed? You're the one hanging out with the king of hell. Maybe it's going the other way around." So, and Sam and Gwen are driving, and she apologizes because this is all her fault, and she needs Sam to pull over because she is just sick about it.
Yeah. So luckily he pulls over in time so she doesn't vomit all over baby. And Crowley and Dean have found Ramsey's den, and that's where we find Marcus, and he has been dragged there, but Ramsey isn't there.
Because after Gwen gets back after puking, she tells Sam that going on camp trip was her idea, and she really liked Marcus, but he loved her more than she loved him. So basically, she was going to break up with him. She took him on this camping trip because she knew it was their last hurrah. Because
it was pity. It was going to have pity breakup sex with him and then dump him.
Yes, when she moved away to school, and now he did. But anyways, Sam goes to turn baby back on. The headlights come on, and who do we see right in front? Ramsey.
Right. So I'm also kind of confused that they can drive with these glasses on, but apparently the goofer dust doesn't make anything, but hellhounds appear. I don't know. So, she breaks the windshield.
Yeah. Sam takes and jumps on the roof of the car. Oh, that's so much body work.
Yeah, and so Sam takes out the demon knife and tells Gwen to stay in the car. Mm-hmm. Then outside Ramsey jumps on Sam and his glasses fall off.
So now he can't see her. So he's able to get away because Gwen does get out of the car and whacks Ramsey with a bag.
With a cooler.
Oh, it's a cooler? Okay.
Yeah. It was like a metal cooler.
Like a hand cooler.
So yeah. And then Sam blindly stabs her and she dies. Boo! Yes. Bad Sam.
And then Dean is pissed about the condition of baby because both the front and back windshields are broken and the roof is smashed in, and I'm sure the hood has some scratches too.
Yeah. And that's just not a replaceable thing. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of things. That's why Sam can't drive.
Correct. And so Crowley's like, okay, well, this is done now. And Gwen hugs Crowley.
And he says he has to go. And before he goes, Sam thanks him.
Awkwardly, too, but very kindly. And then he just poofs out.
And Gwen thinks Crowley seems nice.
She does. So when Crowley returns to the asylum, he finds Lucifer sitting on the throne, mocking him about, oh, you thought you were 2 steps ahead. And Lucifer backhands Crowley and does flexes.
I call it like a bitch punch. Because it's like a cross between like a bitch slap and a backhand punch. It was pretty severe. Yeah, it was pretty harsh.
And he flexes his fucking angel wings and his red eyes, and he is all fucking ready to just end Crowley. But Crowley snaps his fingers and it all fades away. And Crowley's like, no, I said I was 10 steps ahead, not 2. By the way, your whole spiel in that vessel, every molecule has sigils on it, and because your whole vessel is your dungeon, is your prison.
So they took all the spell work from the cage and the crap changed, all put that into the spell that went into his vessel. So Crowley says that he owns him and he's just getting started.
Crazy.
And he's going to first go after his spawn. And then
Oof.
instead of backhand punching him, he really punches him just in the face.
Just gives him a hard punch, straight punch. Yeah. So we cut and Crowley, or sorry, Crowley, too many. Castiel calls Sam and Dean. He now knows that Kelly is with Digon, and he is known for her, what do they call it? Psychotic savagery, I think.
Yes, title of my next band.
Yes. But they don't know where they are right now. So, and that's pretty much the report out. But Cass and Kelvin are at the playground and getting ready to go to heaven.
Yep, and Cass doesn't tell them that he's doing that, but so in the bunker, Sam's phone rings and it's Frodo, and Dean asks if it's a computer again, and Sam confesses that it was a British men of letters this whole time. It's been them the past few weeks.
Yeah, and he didn't say because you hate them. And Dean's like, no, we hate them. What are you talking about? And Sam's like, yeah, but because of them, the alpha's dead. They get results. I just, I shouldn't have lied though. Sorry. And Dean's like, okay, I don't like it. I don't trust them, but we work with people we don't trust all the time, like Crowley. So, okay, but as soon as something feels off, we got to bail. That was easy.
Yep. And Mick calls him again, and Dean tells him to pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Pick it up.
And that's how we end. So we'll get back to our final feelings on that. But before we do, any mean girls we got to learn about, and their ugly boyfriends, or I don't know who we're gonna learn about.
So first is Gwen. It's Angelique Rivera. She is Amanda in the movie Eat Brains Love, and Evie in American Crime as a repeat character on that series. Marcus was played by Connor Patton. He's been in episodes of iZombie and Riverdale. And he is the recurring character Tyler in the series Happy Face. He also played Lance Bass in Brittany Ever After. Thomas, that's one of our demons, is played by Paul Piaskowski. There we go. He's been in episodes of Arrow, iZombie, Big Sky a few times, Nancy Drew a few times, Yellow Jackets and The Good Doctor. He's also Gallows in the movie Vampire, and is the recurring character named Robert in Resident Alien. Victor, our other demon, is played by Mark Sr. He's been in episodes of Arrow, iZombie, The Whispers, and Magicians. He's a repeat character named Mr. Vaughn in Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies. I'll save the good best one for last. So Herb Nelson, no offense to anybody, but Herb Nelson is played by Gabe Kauth. He's unfortunately passed away in 2019, but he was in episodes of 21 Jump Street, MacGyver, Fringe, iZombie, Series of Unfortunate Events. He's Patrick in the original It, Rodney in Ernest Goes to School. He's in Sneezy and aka Mr. Clark in Once Upon a Time as a regular character. He also did a ton of voice work from X-Men and He-Man for cartoons, to Mobile Suit Gundam, Inuyasha, and Powerpuff Girls. Kelvin is played by Nathan Mitchell. He's been in episodes of Tomorrow People, Arrow, iZombie a few times. It was Stroker in Electro Woman and Dyna Girl. He is Black Noir in The Boys, a regular character, and Zion and Ginny in Georgia, another regular character in that series as well. So yeah, there we go. It's quite. Kelvin's character, the actor, he's in a lot of other things too, but he's just a very handsome man and a good actor.
It was like, yes, I have no problems watching. Anyways, So what beyond the handsomeness of Kelvin, what did you think about this episode?
I like that there's just the word, they called things weird a lot, and I thought that was funny that was like a word that they went back to. I always appreciate stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was intrigued because you were kind of like, oh, Crowley's fucked. And then you're like, oh, he's not. Okay, he was ahead of the game. I'm kind of impressed, Crowley. You really were 10 steps ahead.
Yeah, I mean, but because we know where the storyline is probably going, just because it's Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
But at least Crowley's getting some wins in now, which and makes you root for Crowley, right? Who are you going to root for? You're going to root for
For
Lucifer,
sure.
right? So
No.
it kind of forces you to pick a side.
It does, and then you're rooting because he's actually, because like you're like, oh man, this is the worst plan ever. It's so dumb, and then you're like, oh okay, maybe he did have a good. He has a plan. He has a plan. Still don't know if it'll be good. But
No, maybe you should stop taunting people so much. It's never a good idea.
no. And then I think that I thought it was really interesting that, but I also kind of get where Dean's mind was at. I was so like, there's no way he'll go for the British men of letters. I'm like, okay, I guess he did make a good point. He's like, we work with people don't trust a lot. Yeah, fair.
Well, and at least they didn't drag out. I mean, apparently they didn't drag
Lies.
it out through the show. So they had
No,
like
'cause that's
they had 3
exhausting.
weeks of lying and like getting intel from the British men of letters. But apparently they've been getting a lot of hunts from them.
Yeah. Dean likes that. He likes staying busy.
He likes killing things. But we're, like I said, at least they're acknowledging that they're bad guys, and that's they know. I mean, sort of what to look out for, I guess. So, oh, any other thoughts?
No, that's all I got.
All right then. Cheers, Jerk.
Cheers, bitch. On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, can it get weirder than lizard people?
It can always get weirder. Let's do this.
On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, can it get weirder than lizard people?
It can always get weirder. Let's do this.